Hola amigos, bienvenidos. On today's lesson of the Language Tutor, I want to talk to you about describing people. And I want to give you some description words that you can use as you're talking about people. And I encourage you to, as always, to put it into your conversation. Start looking around, maybe family members, friends, people at work, and start trying to describe them. And you'll start to see that you're solidifying the vocabulary words I'm giving you today, and also the verb ser, which we use to describe people. Now remember, in another lesson, we talked about the verb ser, and we said that we use it under the conditions of poppen. Permanent condition, an occupation, a place of origin, identification, or a nationality. So today's words fit right in there. We're just doing descriptions. If we're talking about someone, what that person is like, well, that's ser, because that's who they are as a person. And that's what today's words are about. So first thing I want to do is give you a few, and then I want to stop and talk about gender in just a minute, okay? So first of all, let's just put a couple of description words up there. Here's one. Pretty is bonito, bonito. Now you can also say lindo, lindo. All right. Now, ugly, which we don't know if we want to use that word too much, but ugly is feo, feo. All right. Now, I want to talk about gender here for a second. Gender exists in Spanish. It does not really exist in English. Lots of languages have gender, and we have to make adjustments. It's just one of those things that developed as the language developed. So we can't really go back and say this person started the process of putting gender into a language. And in the case of Spanish, it's really how it came from Latin. So let's look at this word, fail, really quick, we just talked about. And it ends in an O right now. And so when it ends in an O, the word is considered what we call masculine. And if it ends in an A like this, then it is considered to be feminine. So we're not necessarily saying the words are physically masculine or feminine or whatever. It's just a category of how we categorize words in language. So if we are going to talk about a boy in this case, we would say feo. If it were a girl, then we would change it to fea. Now let's relate this to nouns for just a minute. Anytime in Spanish you see a noun that ends in an O, that noun is considered masculine. And if you see a noun that ends in an A, that noun is considered feminine. Now, when you have a noun with an adjective after it, you have to make that adjective fit the description of the noun as well. So if the noun ends in O, it's a masculine noun, then you got to make the adjective masculine as well. Okay, and the same thing for feminine. So we'll look at a couple more examples of that as we go along. All right, so we've learned a couple of words to describe people, pretty, ugly. Here's one, a couple of descriptions of people's hair. Moreno, moreno, that is someone that has dark hair, a brunette. And this one, rubio, rubio is blonde. And if you said that girl is blonde, you would say rubia, rubia. Ella es rubia, or él es rubio if it was a boy. Okay. Now, skinny is flaco, flaco. And of course, the opposite is gordo, gordo. That's heavier. Now, if you're talking about whether somebody is tall or short, tall is alto, alto, and short is bajo. Now, I have heard a few other words in several of the countries that I've visited, but the standard word for that for short is bajo. Now, you're talking to somebody and you go, oh, that person is really funny. They're a funny person. You can say gracioso, or you can also say cómico. Gracioso or cómico. Those are good. Now, what if it were a girl? Graciosa cómica, right? All right, now, handsome is guapo, guapo. And let's move into a couple more of our personality. Serious. We've all met a very serious person before. Serio, serio. So he is very serious. Él es muy serio. She is very serious. Ella es muy seria. All right, putting that gender into action. Ambitious. Somebody's really a go-getter. Ambicioso or ambiciosa. The opposite of that might be lazy, perezoso, or perezosa, right? Let's look at a couple of nationalities, throw those in here. American is same thing in English, but you put an O or an A on it. Americano or Americana, Americano. Chilean, get a couple of other foreign nationalities, and we'll get more later, just establishing some today. Chilean is chileno, chileno or chilena. Colombian, colombiano or colombiana. Cuban, cubano or cubana. All right, let's throw a couple more in. The word good in general, bueno. I know you've heard that before, bueno. Fantastic. This is an easy one. We put an O on it, same as English almost. Accent, fantástico. Fantástico or fantástica. All right, shy is a good one. Somebody is very shy. They are tímido, tímido. If they're very honest, remember there's an H, but it's silent, honesto or honesta. Generous, generoso or generosa. And let's throw a few more nationalities in there. Mexican, mexicano, is very common. Puerto Rican, this one's a challenge. Sometimes we look at this and I'm not sure how to say that. Sure you can. Break it up. You can say it. Puerto, and then a double R is a trill. Riqueño, Puerto Riqueño, or Puerto Riqueña. All right. Venezuelan, venezolano. Sometimes we want to put a U in there, but there's no U. Venezolano. Okay. I think that gives you quite a few description words to get started. What I want you to do is be working on the verb ser. She is, he is, I am, they are, we are, you plural are, both forms, Spain and all other countries are, all Spanish-speaking countries. Form as many sentences as you can. And hey, if you want to be very ambicioso, go on and look up your own description words. Get more, bring those in, and just use ser as much as you can. All right, I'll see you next time on the Language Tutor.